Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, aka Mark, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoy tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to twitch.tv/RSAGames, or check out all our recorded sessions at RSA Games on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session, and without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. As the sun sets over LA, rain begins to pitter-patter on the rooftops of the skyscrapers that dot the land. Past downtown and deep into the suburban area of East LA is a specific wealthier neighborhood. Atop one of its buildings rests the pack. Your eyes open to be greeted by the lightless windows, the artificial intelligence that is in your home and controls the lights. It slowly raises the ambient lighting and greets you with a good evening.
Yeah, because the last two wake up. Oh, look around.
Serena,
Is
how?
Abel already here?
Abel did spend the night in this specific building, yes.
Who woke up first?
I would say Abel was the first one to wake. After which it was Larry, but Larry is doing his own thing on the roof. And after that, it would be Serena and then Jack.
So everyone's here.
Still in her room? You don't. Well, at least you assume. And if you go knock, you'll see that she's just behind the computer, looking at some code and tinkering away. And you'd know that she's basically looking through the AI in the house. Because you don't trust that shaitan machina unless you know what's inside of it.
Yeah.
Serena, you may make a, let's say, int computer roll.
Hacking applies?
Yes.
Book smarts apply?
No.
Why? This is book smarts.
Not this particular one. You'll see
You're
why.
trying to hack the God Machine's code. I wouldn't bother already ADHD Malkavian. I will go bother Ravnus.
Right. One success?
So, in attempting to delve into the code, question: have you ever had the chance to delve into any of the machines that Sosimo or Oswald owned?
Yes.
Okay.
The phone that was given to me.
So, whenever you were trying to examine code in those machines, it was incomprehensibly complex. Things that should do like one task end up doing like around 50 tasks at once, and none of them are controlled by the code itself because you change it and nothing happens. It's almost like the code itself overwrites whatever you try to put into it in a very weird way. This code is about the same, like the same level of complexity.
Still, I don't trust the fact that there's only like a Nosferatu who's like, how to say, allegiances are shaky at best. So, we're gonna delve into that later when it's more time on that, because ain't no fucking Nosferatu like controlling AI in the house where I live. Besides, Eyes of Chaos is a drug. Because here's the thing, Eyes of Chaos allows you to crack codes.
Mm-hmm. And so, as Serena focuses on the
Basically,
AI,
just like, no, after she basically like gets that result, she's like, just like slams the computer thing shut. Well, gently, but still slams. And then starts basically prepping, which is putting on the lower, like basically putting on some layers that are like quite stretchy. So that all she needs to do to go to her form is just like take off her coat. She'll take the extra Bernie coat. She might as well as do a turn into a horrid form with a dramatic flair. Throws a coat onto a Delmont and turn into horrid form.
all right. And what about the other two? Abel and Jack.
Do you have a minute?
Yes.
So, have you had a moment to look at Larry's cane, sword, whatever? Because I presume we are not good enough to wield it in like biblical sense of good. You might though.
Are you sure it's connected to that?
Well, Freya said it's kind of like Tremere Warden, but against like mentalities. It burns
Mm.
me. You can touch it with a finger. If it burns, it burns. If it's not, it's not.
We can test.
So, Jack, am I to understand that you present the sword to Abel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Abel, how do you grip the sword?
I will first try to kind of hover my hand over it and see if it emanates anything towards me.
Okay. You may roll perception and awareness.
Do you sometimes do things that you think are for the best and turns out it wasn't fucking worth it?
Well,
Okay.
you have to try, no matter the outcome.
So, as you very lightly brush your hand over the handle of the sword, right, the grip, you feel a certain, for lack of a better word, you feel a certain vibration in the air. Definitely it's emanating something, though you don't quite know if it's positive or negative.
I slowly try to grip the handle of the cane.
So this is the cane, not the sword.
Not the sword of a huntress,
Yeah.
Larry's sword.
Okay. So you begin gripping it, and as soon as your fingers make contact with it, you feel a searing pain in the tips of your fingers, and with a sizzle, you just move your hand back.
I don't think it likes me either.
Well, always worth a try. Worst case, we just tell Oswald to wield it.
I think it's maybe warded against our kind.
Oswald is one of our kind. Or you can mean our kind. In which case, I have serious questions to Larry. Speaking of, it kind of weighs. You remember the night when Cecil brought Titus back?
Uh, Vaguely. I don't think I was present.
Well, Cecil opened the portal to Shadowlands, Titus went through. Problem is, Cecil wasn't as good of necromancer to do that on his own. And no fucking way my abyss connection, my innate abyss connection would do that, you know. So I guess I had to do what I thought was the best at the moment.
What do you mean? Are you in trouble?
Well, I agreed to something and I don't know what would be my part of payment.
I see. Well, I'll be watching your back, so to say.
Appreciate it. Now, while we're on topic of swords, do you think it would be wise to use Huntress's sword? Or better not delve deeper into the shithole I'm digging for myself?
Well, we are trying to face an opponent very, very well versed in what he does, and basically in his backyard, we might need any advantage we can. But I wouldn't use it as nothing but a last resort.
Guess you're right.
Abel, make me a flat perception awareness roll, please. Okay. So, as you say that you'll use it, this odd power, if the circumstances are dire enough, Jack and Abel, both of you, feel a soothing sensation all over your body.
I assume our little neighbors agree to the idea.
Yeah, but that makes me feel a bit uneasy. Why would they be so keen on us using that sword?
Well, the sword has very fucked up history. So it was some knight in Middle Ages. He drank the blood. He lived for long, but he was mortal from what I remember, right? And you know, he could use arms of Ahriman on his whim. Then came Huntress. She did something to the sword. So I guess it has sort of connection to Abyss.
Wouldn't we be dooming somebody to a life of, well, let's say, death of servitude if we kill someone with it?
Absolutely no idea. But if it steals Delmont's soul, it would be fucking bad because we need his ass to ourselves.
Well, Delmont. Well, when I met Delmont for our little deal to help Cecil, then he spoke with my lodger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what plans they made together, but maybe that was for a way out.
Well, when I took a little peek into his soul, I was told that I shouldn't look into something I'm prepared to die for. So I assume he's in a way one of us.
Well, perhaps.
Which is fucking bad.
Well, Let's see what he has to say about it.
I highly doubt he would talk with us. And, like, if we accuse him of being infernalist, we are in the same line.
Well, we just have to start out with using big boy words and then see if it escalates to something more physical.
Serena walks into the room, looking like she overheard the last part of the conversation, looking quite peeved.
Hello,
You better
Miguel.
not hoping to having a talk with Delmont.
Well, I was more open to have a talk with his soul, hence why we bring our own necromancer.
What are his belongings? Emotionally charged. No doubt some of them are going to have connection to the cult that he's part of. He, Ruark, and Kian. This is the reason why they took the axe back, besides the fact that it also was a really useful tool. But that axe basically connected two people that Ruark condemned as traitors to the Sabbat to himself personally. Such items are going to exist on Delmont as well. I can't say how much his ashes are going to have, but I'd like to remind you who our enemies are. They're necromancers themselves, so I cannot tell you how much there will be the opportunity to chat with somebody's soul.
We have a number for one Giovanni. He probably won't help us much, but if he won't bring more necroman,
Why would Giovanni help us?
why won't they?
Azura Giovanni?
Yes, but Giovanni proud themselves to be only necromancer in the fucking town.
Again,
It's kind of how we and not Ravens, fucking Ventru are.
again, you're being far too naive. Delmont, if he's captured, alive, or his soul somehow in one piece, we're going to have a much harder time keeping him alive, or ourselves alive for that matter, before that is going to be useful.
So, what you offer essentially is Diablerie.
No.
How else you're gonna ensure destruction of his soul?
Do you know that that for the most part, kindred are very much unlikely to become spirits when they die?
I might require you to roll int and occult for that, but proceed for now. Just don't mention more. Okay?
I didn't encounter a lot of dead kindred to roll for it.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 successes?
Yeah, you'd have some knowledge of the topic.
Cainites, when they die, they die. They don't become ghosts, spirits, whatever.
He's a necromancer, though. That's a problem. The amount of fail saves he might have is a bit beyond me.
It's a fun bit. I've already kept a necromancer from returning to a respawn location. All I'd need for that is... And Serena points towards Abel, the ring. Because that's the one thing that Cecil showed me how to do. With Azura.
Sure. You can have it.
Besides, I did actually ask to check whether we have any tails, but then you were experimenting? Did your experiment succeed?
Well,
Yes.
mine or his?
Abel's. Also, Jack, we shall attempt the shadow map again, but there's something on your side that's blocking.
Yes.
Something about your approach.
Well, I know a hell necromancer who's also skilled in obtenebration. I guess the fucking easiest way would be just ask a necromancer to make a map of Shadowlands.
They have access to it.
You can ask
Not
her
all
herself.
of them do. Not all of them do.
You can ask Freya yourself.
Because remember that whole thing was the Giovanni searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, here's a fun fact. Not every necromancer can actually enter the Shadowlands. And if you can't enter the Shadowlands, you can't make a map of it. In most cases.
Not every necromancer has an innate connection to Abyss.
That is true.
So, you know the saying, knock and you shall be answered.
I don't. Is
You
that
don't
from the
knock or
Bible?
you don't get answered. Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Mind to take a touch? I present the cane. It stinks though, so.
Miguel already hold it once.
Sorry, my connection isn't great. Did you ask if you already held it once?
Yeah.
I don't recall. I know Jack did. I don't remember you doing it
Jack
specifically.
brought it from the store.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm gonna reach out and tap it.
Okay. Well, reaching out, you lightly brush your finger against it, and this is the cane, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Lightly brushing your fingers against it, you feel this sting immediately that juts through your arm.
Yeah, it stings.
Okay. So, for some
Look,
reason,
I'm pretty sure you already gave it once to me, wrapped in a towel of some sorts. And it still was sort of see through that.
Oswald can hold it,
Okay.
so he did hold it,
Mm-hmm.
which is a surprising part.
Okay, and why is
How?
that surprising?
Well, how? Is it protected against everybody, not Nosferatu? Is it protected from
What do you
everybody,
know about
not
this
goody two
protection?
shoes?
What
So
do you know
what
about this
Freya
protection?
told me, it's akin to Tremir's protection, but not against a person in a way. Like, for example, your coat is protected against everybody but you. It's protected against certain mentality?
Okay. Any other information about it?
Yes, there's a symbol that makes you fucking sick in your head when you see it.
I do remember that. Wait, I do remember Oswald that day when Oswald touched it. Larry gave him a call.
Yes, because Oswald sent a
I
picture
listened.
holding the cane.
I listened in. Oswald said that the cane was warded and that it was related to what Amadeus used to be.
From what I heard,
Did
it
Abel
wasn't.
touch it? Did Abel
Yes.
touch it?
Yes.
But
Would you take a guess?
Oswald can touch it.
Isn't
Well,
Oswald Larry's child?
yes.
Yes.
So here's an idea. What if it's warded against people, basically, what if it's allowing to be touched, what if the only people who can touch it are basically who take care of their child, or like Oswald does?
Would
Except that
explain.
despite, like, Oswald is flaky and his allegiances are shifty, but he is a pretty good vampire dad.
Is he on a pass?
I don't know. No. But if Abel touched it and it still stung him,
Well, I am also still not on a pass, so
and also Larry is not on a path. But even though Larry doesn't remember a lot, I mean, we've seen a few of his. We've seen his temper. Okay, we've seen his temper.
yes. This pack can't go 2 miles
Look,
without.
What if the cane is warded against any vampire sires because of whom their child will need therapy?
Well,
Put it very easily.
that would explain it.
And Serena points to holier than thou, a La Zombra, mentally insane and a metamorphosis, and, well, Larry is a gargoyle and he has a bad temper. We're not exactly the vampire sires who would not give their child therapy.
Or our goals. That's
Exactly.
a valid fucking point, actually. So we need to find a
And
good sire
here's
in
the
this
thing.
shitty city. Yes, you see, Oswald and probably one other person somewhere.
I think that's going to be a really difficult.
Yes.
Really difficult. It's just going
Yes.
to be really difficult.
As I said, Oswald and probably one other Cainite in the whole fucking shitty city.
Yeah, but look, we're not gonna find anyone, okay? Even the sires who think they're really good and they're doing something for their child, or because, it's. Look, every parent hurts their kid. Vampires are worse.
Time look out for their own.
Because think, in the Oswald Sosimo duo, the brat and the thankless childer is Sosimo.
And then Amadeus, Oswald, it's Amadeus.
Well, no. There, nobody.
Look at that fucking 2-meter tall hunk of stone and tell me he's not a fucking brat, okay?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes. I might know a parent who's really good.
Hey,
Yes.
what about your sire?
Yes. I'm not bringing her into the fucking battle, you know?
No, I meant you can, like, if we survive, you can try and have her touch the cane.
Yes.
Right.
I would need therapy for different
Guys,
reasons.
we're
than
burning time. I
Yes.
get it. We're all rather nervous whether we're coming back alive or not, even though we have quite a good backup. But the night is burning away, and we need to be in a certain location at a certain time. Is everything ready?
I need to grab another sword.
About that, maybe we shouldn't bring it to the fight. If things go sideways, it's not something we would want. Don't
Looks
want to
down.
possess.
Serena
Also
looks down
true.
to her phone, and then up to you guys. So our work will be busy for a few hours, courtesy of Vicus.
That's good. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I'll just bring the sword.
Okay. So, you all get on the elevator. You call Larry, and essentially tell him to meet you there. And as you descend, and see your vehicles, you make sure all the cameras are turned off when making your way in and out of the parking lot, and you begin to drive out. Which vehicle are you taking?
The armored one.
Okay. You begin driving, and you'd wager there's about 15-20 minutes before you get to your destination. Do you speak about something?
Serena just puts on a track and drives very quietly, and she puts uh, wait, she puts Kate Bush Army Dreamers song and just hums quietly as she drives. She seems to be disassociating.
I'll probably be in the backseat with Abel because I don't know if he gets to see through darkness on his own, so a little precautions. You
Oh,
mind?
no, no, not at all.
Yeah.
And also, Abel's sitting on the back seat, basically loading a shotgun.
That's delicious. Is it orange shells?
Yes.
Oh, delicious. Yeah, I have enough wits occult to pass the roll automatically and perception occult. Doing it carefully again. Rituals apply?
Yes. You're quite literally
dice, I guess.
performing a ritual, so
Yes.
I would wager rituals do apply.
And I fucked up a couple of times to take a bit more time. So yeah, 10 dice. Let's see how many times I can activate this shit.
Oof.
Hey, let's fucking go.
Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7 is the
7.
difficulty, so it's 6.
Yeah, so 6 successes.
Take a pick, brother.
So no need to do the courage roll anymore because you've done this before. I believe there is a roll to see if he succeeds, right?
Perception occult.
Yeah. So Abel, perception occult, please.
Well, you get to see. It's a failure, so it's not a botch.
Yeah, so I think he doesn't get the effect at all, or does he?
Yeah. On a botch, he gets it for a whole night.
Yeah. So you look into the sphere that Jack created, and it's like looking into absolute nothingness. And yet, despite you staring at it you don't feel like your eyes adapt to it at all. It feels like it's almost rejecting you to a certain extent. And I'll need to roll something. Okay. And just as you're
Well,
about...
if he gets reduction for difficulty by Auspex, he gets it for one use.
Well, Auspex doesn't help you with this, I don't think. Would it?
It's perception, so... It's perception!
It's a perception roll, but it's not like to perceive, really, is it?
In a way, yeah.
But yeah, just as you're about to, give up on the process, you feel this soothing sensation in the back of your mind. And almost...
Nope. Nope.
Nope. Okay, you tried to block it off. And despite it almost feeling like something staring back, you don't really feel any beneficial effects from this.
Well, it's an improvement from last time. You'll grow into it, I guess.
So, as the car begins to approach the address, you notice that it's...
I can still use heightened senses to some extent, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Seeing in the dark.
Unless it's like pitch black, you'll be able to like spot movement and such. The problem is you won't actually have vision in the dark. So every time you want to see something in the darkness, you'll have to roll for it. That's the only difference.
But low light vision is granted.
Yep. So, as you approach the address, you see this fairly large building with a few businesses all around it. And the address refers to what looks like a basement level that is access to the side of the building.
I'll leave, but I can hear you.
Mm-hmm. So you basically approach the address, and you see this this stairway going down. Any last minute prepping that you do? Any texts you send out? Anything like that?
I sent to text to Vicus at location. Well, no, I'm not going to send a text to Vicus because... Wait, actually, I am wearing the ring. Any tales? Any ghostly?
So as you... Before you exit the car, as you're approaching the address, you do see a good chunk of shapes sort of hovering near the building.
And I told it to the guys. Plenty of eyes, so... I'm going to send... shades hovering around the building. Well, ghost spirits, I don't know what type of ghosts they are.
What do you expect? I'll message Freya, like T minus. There's like a bit overlap, so we have a couple like seconds to ourselves. And I respond that you met with Vicus, so my part of the payment was done.
Make a quick, let's say, charisma finance roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are the odds of
All
that?
eights. Oh, fucking eights. What are the odds? Let me say 10%, 1%, 1/10, 100, 1,000%.
He got all 8s
Yes.
in 5 dice.
It's basically 0.1 in the power of how many dice he's been rolling.
Oh,
Yes.
damn. Anyway,
Yes.
so you
How many dice did you roll?
5.
5. So 1/10,
So
1,000%.
No, 1/10,000.
Wait. 10, 1.
What?
Yeah, 1,000%.
No, 1/10,000
Okay.
of a chance.
Regardless, let's keep the scene going.
Yes.
So, as you send this text, there's a solid 30-second pause, and then just a response. Touche.
I know my shit. I know my shit. Is it a deal done?
Do you send that?
No. Like, for me.
Yes. So you may restore 1 willpower.
Yes. Yes.
Crafty fucking businessman. Anyway. So, do you any other preparations that you do?
I will message Leo and
We can barely hear you, Jack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Apologies, folks. Abel, do you make any preparations? Any specific powers that you would like to
I
activate?
like the
Anything
blood
like
buff.
that? Okay.
I like the blood buff.
I probably messaged Leo and Johnny before we went to drive off.
Okay. Basically to ask them to show up, or what?
Yeah, but like not stick their necks out. Like Johnny, he's not my goal, so there's that.
Okay. Well, Leo shows up about at the same time as you do, but he stays in his car, and he makes eye contact with you and just signals with his head that he's basically ready, and taps the glove box on his car. Johnny responds with a text, helping Master Vicus. Now, Abel, please tell me what that roll was.
I was just meditating a bit to regain a willpower, but
I see.
I didn't.
That's okay. A 1 does not remove any willpower, so you're fine. Okay, so, Serena, last preparations, or do you advance?
The advance.
Okay. So, the 3 of you begin heading towards the basement. Larry sends you a text saying that he will make his way through the roof. He senses that the building itself is full of people, but the basement only has 1 individual he can spot. And he makes his way through the walls immediately. He also warns you that as he's making his way through the walls, he has no phone because he has to leave all of that behind. All of his physical belongings.
So the building is full of people.
Yeah.
How many people?
Well, all the businesses have at least 1 person in them. It's very early in the night.
Okay.
So you begin to head to the basement, and you reach the front door. Do you open it, kick it in, knock? What do you do?
Just walk in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So as you reach for the handle, Serena, you spot one of the spirits reaching for the handle and opening it for you. It doesn't react to you looking at it, almost as it's not expecting you to see it. So it basically just opens the door for you. The others, you just see the door open by itself. And as you walk inside, the basement level is basically a very large area with a number of boxes. It seems to be storage for one of the businesses above. And right at the end of it, there is a desk, almost eerily similar to the one in Delmont's office, with a similar setup on top of the desk, and Delmont is there simply scribbling away on a sheet of paper.
If I speak, I'm gonna fucking blow up. I have this much patience for that man. It's a hair width of patience. How many goes around the area?
So you look around, and with the ring, you basically can see whatever ghosts are in the Shadowlands.
How many?
You see, just in this room, 5 or 6, just roaming around, and then 3 more next to Delmont, observing his movements very carefully. One of the specters that moves around is keeping his eyes on the 3 of you. And as this happens, a few of the specters begin to disappear from your field of view.
I'm gonna use telepathy on the other guys. So you feel the pressure? Do you let me in?
Unless it feels soothing.
No, it doesn't. Pretty sure.
Mine's never, so I guess.
So Serena basically pretty sure that those ghosts went to alert Rourke. So.
Or it's Freya.
Huh?
Or it's Freya.
No. They didn't seem troubled. They literally just like disappeared, so our time is ticking, sirs. Do we attack?
Well, let's do before he attacks. Do we go in fucking formation or just...
Is it ladies first?
If you want.
Is that what's happening here?
If you want, do the honors. We'll fuck him up worse.
So I mean, I guess let's go. Like Serena had 0 patience, and in her mind,
I need you guys to roll initiative. I'm rolling initiative for all the participants.
I was planning to use my first celerity move as a surprise.
Well, it's not a surprise. He's fully aware of you. So.
Dex end?
Yeah, but can't he move as fast as I can?
You wouldn't know.
Your initiative's fucking high, though.
Oh, fine.
Dex end and 1 dice, right?
Yep. And we'll.
That will be.
That's a 9.
That will be
19.
9.
And wit? Dex and wit?
Dex, wits, and celerity.
Yep. So that will be 22.
So Abel. Abel, roll.
I wonder if I might surprise him. 20 fucking 2.
I believe that's an 8.
Okay, so
No,
22,
9.
22, 9, and 9 for you. Let me quickly check your character sheets.
Abel, Jack, what do you have?
No. Shush. It's okay. I need to check something that should stay private. Oh my fucking god. I need you guys to roll again.
Okay.
Why?
Because there is one determining factor, and the determining factor determines fuck all by rules
Fuck all.
as written. So
Yes, I guess our Dex and Int are fucking same.
So let's just say I
Dex
need
and
to roll a
wits, not
die.
int.
I have
I have
8.
fucking
What
same
are you
wits.
talking about?
Hmm?
I have.
I have 8 in total. And my dex is 5.
Yes, but I have 6 in total.
So why do I need to reroll?
You don't need.
No, you don't need to
Okay.
reroll. It's just
I have
Okay.
8.
okay. So
Because it's just I rolled a 9 and you want me to reroll it. I'm like offended.
so Serena goes first, and I will tell you who goes next, depending.
Mm-hmm. I have 8, so.
So Serena, your action.
Right. So I'm going to be using celerity
Mm-hmm.
and let's test the defenses first. I'm going to use my new guns.
Okay.
Um
How many shots are you firing?
So I'm firing one shot right now. Because I'm going to just like see how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I'm moving close to him, so to say. And I take 2 celerity actions after this turn, like at the end.
Okay. So 2 celerity actions for you.
Yeah.
The pistol you're using is the modified one, right? Not your personal one. It's the
No. Yeah. Yeah.
the hunter gun.
Well, actually, which one is going to deal more damage? The one that I have modified, or the one that Marcus gave to me? The new ones.
Good question.
7.
You wouldn't know, I don't think.
7. Well, I would have shot them earlier. At least one shot from the other one. Like, what did it look like?
So this is this the hunter gun or one of the guns that you procured last downtime?
Last downtime.
Okay. So the ones from last downtime, it basically shoots a wall of fire. It deals quite a bit of damage. It doesn't deal as much damage as a regular gun, but because it's fire, vampires can't defend as well against it.
So I'm going to, because it's fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wall of fire. I'd probably want to move a bit away from the other guys. On the other hand, probably this is the moment that they're definitely staying away from him. So I'm going to sort of strafe to the side. So currently we're all free together, but I'm going to strafe to the side so that, the flame of wall of fire doesn't appear literally right from next to them, because we don't need friendly vampires here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Roll for damage.
And what's the values for those new gun?
With the new gun, it's basically the damage of shotguns -1, but it's a lag.
What's yeah, but what's the shotgun damage?
Let me check for you.
I do have that quick page for weapon damages.
Let me check for you.
It's for a sawn-off.
No problem. Range weapons. There's like shotgun and shotgun semi-auto.
In this case, I think it's a semi-auto, but it needs to be reloaded every 2 shots, so...
8.
Okay, so
So basically 7 plus whatever extra successes.
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay. So, you shoot the gun. And basically, as soon as you press the trigger, one of the specters that surrounds Delmont almost supernaturally appears ahead of him and all the shot that would have hit Delmont sprays on this creature, and it immediately evaporates from existence. Delmont, very slowly, raises his head and says, "Good evening to you too."
Nothing in the mood to chat.
Very well. He does a simple motion, and that's going to be his turn. Jack, you're next.
Do I still feel Serena's presence in my head?
After her?
If you want.
I mean, it's a concentration thing, so it... Suppose it would take, like, her turn to... Well, I suppose it depends if Serena has kept it, but we didn't apply any, like, any difficulty modifiers to her roll, so I'd say no in this case.
Okay, I would.
It can be easily reestablished, but it would have to be on her turn.
No, I don't need it because I'll say to my little angel that no fucking interruption. And I'm gonna create some tentacles.
Okay, so I need you to make 2 rolls. One is for the tentacles. The other one is a charisma, and let's say you're just demanding it, right?
I'm telling it to because, like, and then
Okay.
conveying the message. Otherwise, I'm fucking dead.
Okay, charisma leadership, please.
Who is he telling no fucking interruptions to?
You
probably
wouldn't
not
know.
know.
You wouldn't know. It's fine.
You won't know as a character. Okay, I spend willpower on this one. So it's
This is the
tentacles.
leadership one? Oh, tentacles.
No, tentacles.
Okay.
That
Please.
makes for 4.
Mhm.
No, wait. It's div 7 if I remember.
Yeah, so 1,
yes,
2,
it's div 7. So 1,
2, 3,
3,
4,
4,
5.
5, 6
6?
plus willpower.
Okay, yeah, 6.
So 6, and I need to roll charisma leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Charisma leadership, motherfucker. And another willpower goes down. Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So, as you sort of say this to yourself, do you say it out loud or internally?
No. I know he can read my mind.
Okay, as you say it internally, for like a solid half a second, you go completely deaf in protest, but you manage to overcome it. And the tentacles spawn as normal.
Yes.
So shadows in the room become a bit darker, and some of them begin to form these tendrils. That's your turn, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do the tentacles get a turn immediately after, or does it start on the next turn?
Command country foes. Little damage per turn. Break and grasp. Doesn't fucking say so.
Would you be okay if it started next turn, since you spent a
Yes,
turn to create
obviously.
it? Okay.
Yes.
So, Abel, what do you do?
I'm just going to say repent and shoot at him.
Okay. Add 5 dice for zealous fucking action. Anyway, yeah. Roll to shoot.
Your sin is your existence.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's not good.
That is very much not good. What the fuck happened?
Oh my god.
Oh wow!
What is that?
Oh my god. The sin is my existence, I guess.
Fucking crossed my legs on that one. Jesus. Okay. Which gun were you using?
The sawed-off shotgun with dragon breath.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let me roll something. So roll for damage first.
Rolls a 7 dice.
What?
No, he has a
It's,
normal shotgun.
He has a
So I
normal
rolled
shotgun,
the,
so it's the damage of a regular normal shotgun.
Hey.
-1, it's all egg.
So
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, so roll 7 dice. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me roll
Why
something.
did you have to roll so well on that roll?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Abel, as you're beginning to pull the trigger, you feel this sense of danger, and you feel an impulse coming from the back of your mind. You recognize the impulse being from your friend. Do you accept the help?
as in, what kind of help is it?
You wouldn't
Helping
know.
you not die. Probably.
Well, I've been so good at rejecting him tonight, so I will continue to do that.
Okay. Please soak 2 ag.
He has 4 though.
He does. So roll fortitude. No stamina. Okay. So essentially, you pull the trigger, and there's a click, and immediately the side of the gun blows off of it. And you see some sparks hit your hand, and you drop the gun and immediately swat off any fire before it chars your skin. And you hear in the back of your mind the whisper saying, "Accept my help, or you might die."
I reply to him, just help me willingly, if I'm so important to you.
You hear a very faint growl as the voice fades. And that's going to be your turn. Now, after Delmont does this slight motion, I need everyone in the group to roll stamina. Actually, no. To roll strength and brawl.
Okay.
Does the totem help me with that?
Good question.
1 success.
For now, roll flatly, and I will account for the totem in a second. Completely forgot you had that.
Oh, 1 success because I didn't use
Okay.
button photons.
Successes.
How many successes?
9.
Oh my fucking god.
Fucking hell. Meanwhile, Abel rolls 4 fucking ones. Anyway, that roll hurt
Look,
me.
I
personally.
know the holy prayer of Pelese.
Pelese, yes. Okay, so as all of you begin to feel this sort of cold presence around you, Serena, you immediately feel these cold hands grab
Oh,
your.
I see them.
Hold on.
I have the ring.
Hold on. You immediately feel these cold hands around your neck and your arms, and you shake them off immediately. Jack, you feel the same, and you try to shake them off. You release your arm, but you cannot release the hand around your neck or the one around your other arm. And they begin to pull you back. As you glance, you basically see these gaunt figures with pitch black eyes staring down at you. One of them looks like Wayland. The other one looks like Liliana. Abel, you manage to free your arms, but 2 hands still hold your neck. And as that is the case, you feel like this might actually be a problem until you hear a snap. and the hands release. And the other two, you now see this very gaunt figure, almost skeletal even. This figure of a woman wearing very odd, you'd say Aztec armor, holding a whip as it drips with pitch black blood, and one of the figures that was holding Abel is now devoid of arms.
Phrase coming in clutch.
So,
Totem.
as this happens,
Oh,
from the ceiling, right above Delmont, you begin to see Larry's arm form. And he descends right on top of Delmont and begins beating down on him. And as he throws one punch, you just see Larry fall to the side, almost as if he lost his balance, and Larry's fucking gone.
Oof. That's bad. That's fucking bad.
Serena, your turn.
Use Voice of Madness on Delmont.
Let's keep this in mind. The table basically fell over. You don't see anything behind the table. You just saw Larry go down. No sign of Larry anymore. You don't see Delmont either. So, yeah. You can go check behind the table, but you can try and use Voice of Madness on Delmont if you can hear it.
Well, I am going to be. Whether it's for a shot or to attack Delmont or like use Voice of Madness, I need to move closer. So I'm going to do that. I need basically to see him. But my idea is that when in a frenzy, no matter whether it's a rage frenzy or road trick, he's not gonna be able to use his fucking sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
And besides physical disciplines, that's all he's gonna be limited to.
Mm-hmm.
And given what I know about specters, they might be pretty pleased that their master is incapacitated. So I'm gonna go and see where the fuck is Delmont.
Okay, so you're moving towards the table.
Yeah, but on a side, so like if the
So
table
you're
is
keeping some
here-
distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you begin running around. These are your two celerity turns, by the way. One of them.
I just go I should
No,
have
no.
enough
But
to
hold on. These are your two celerity turns. So one of them is for you to move, and you still have another action on top of that.
Is that such a big room?
It's a pretty decently sized room. It encompasses the entire building.
That's big as fucking basement.
Can't I?
Yeah.
How much I can move within one turn?
With a celerity action, it's just your dex. So
My dex is currently 5.
that is. How much was it? Hold on. I need to check something.
I will tell you in a second.
It's just that people have been crossing in your games large distances in one turn, so
Run speed is 35 meters on dex 5.
Oh, 35. Yeah, you can cover the entire room with that. And then
yeah,
some.
and I'm just like going on one side. I'm not
Yeah.
running circles around the
So
room.
you
I
basically get the movement of one turn with that plus an action, and that's one of your celerity actions.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
I
you go around the table, trying to keep your distance. That said, I must warn you, some of the specters are still in the room, and they are watching what's happening. You'll have to move somewhat close to one of those specters if you want to get like some distance from the table. It's essentially choose the devil you want.
Yeah, but I'm the one having a celerity action, not them.
Okay,
And I still
so
have a second one.
so you're choosing the specter. Got it. So you go around and looking at the area behind the desk, you now see that where Delmont was, is now sort of an odd drawing of chalk on the floor. And it's pitch black and slowly becomes white chalk again.
Fucking door. To do what to do. Does it remind me of the you know
Freya
of
told
the
us about exactly that.
Freya
told us about exactly that. We dropped the books.
What can you remind me?
That would he have a time to like draw a door with a chalk?
Okay, I follow Larry into that. They're in the Shadowlands.
Okay,
Can
so
I
you run
follow?
up to the thing.
Yeah, and I
This
just
basically only
at the same-
encompasses one celerity action so far, and interacting with it will also encompass just one. Is that
Yeah, I basically tell them that. Well, we were preparing for it that the battle is probably going to be in the Shadowlands, so I'm telling them follow as
Okay.
I basically.
So you run up to the chalk drawing on the floor, and you press your hand against it, and at first your hand begins to sink through, and then the floor hardens and pushes back against your hand, as if the door just closed. You still have one action.
I look to those specters, that there's still one in the room. Like there's some in the room.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to take damage from the fire, so I'm going to split my action and shoot 2 of them.
Okay. Question. Are you
Yeah.
shooting at the ones who interacted with you, or the ones who are standing around and you can see with the ring?
The ones that interacted with me.
Okay. So, you point your guns at them. 2 of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, make 2 rolls.
Okay.
Split basically the dice pool that you would use on one roll.
Yeah.
Like basically split it at will.
1, 2. So 1 success on the one roll, and 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on the other one.
Okay, roll for damage.
Wait, did I need to add something? I mean, I had 12 dice and I split it into 2, 6 and 6, right?
7 and 7, yeah. So
Okay,
it's basically guns don't benefit from extra successes, I don't think.
Damage does.
Damage does.
They get more damage.
Oh, okay. In that
If
case,
I remember correctly, I might remember it not correctly.
no, but that's fine. That's fine.
3,
In that case, roll the damage plus success overlap.
damage
So
was
that's
8 or 7?
7. So 7 plus
Okay.
whatever extra successes you got above 1.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes on the first shot, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 successes on the other one.
Okay. So you pull the trigger on both the guns, and with 2 shots, you just see these walls of fire hit the 2 wraiths. One of them immediately curls up as the shot hits it, and you see black smoke coming off of its skin, and it eventually fades into nothingness. The other one suffers a lot of burning damage. You can see its skin like flake away, but then it shakes, looks at you, and places one hand on the ground and falls to its knees while keeping eye contact. And as it does so, you see it morph into Cecil's visage. And it
Next
smiles.
turn is mine again.
And it smiles
Next turn is mine
mockingly
again.
at you.
Oh, next
Hold
turn
on.
is mine again?
Hold on. So it's your turn again, and at this point, you hear your phone buzz. You can check it as a free action if you want.
Yeah. I quickly check it.
Okay, so checking it, you just see the notification, and it's from Vicus's number, and it says, "I'm on the way, arriving through sewers."
Yeah, but then I basically just like take a shot at the Spectre and take it like. So I'm going to send a reply to Vicus and take that shot. The
Okay.
asshole is going down.
Okay, so roll. Difficulty is at a +2
Okay.
because you're texting while you shoot. Never text while you shoot, kids.
One.
While you drive?
plus
Nah, while you
one,
shoot?
2,
Never.
3, 4. So that's 3 goes into the other part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4 ag.
4 ag. Okay, so you pull the trigger. What do you write to Vicus?
I write Delmont went into the Shadowlands with Larry while typing the message.
Hail,
Yeah,
hail, motherfucker.
and you pull the trigger. You see the flames go towards the wraith, and essentially what you see is a bunch of fire engulfing Cecil's visage, and Cecil vanishes into nothing. So something happens in the background because this is Delmont's turn. Jack, your turn.
Well, Serena told me that the ghost tried to touch me once and didn't fucking like it, so I'm gonna go full fucking Venom.
Okay.
That'd be fucking hell. I forget manipulation courage. Do I get courage up to my humanity or?
Up to your humanity.
Okay. That makes it.
I'm just gonna turn on
7.
turn off. Well,
No, I can.
make
Don't turn
camera
it off.
black first.
I'll just.
Yeah. I'm not turning it off.
Thank you. Oh,
What? That's nice. That's 6 successes on a roll that requires just fucking 1.
okay.
And
And this is for Tenebrous form.
Tenebrous form is when I turn into shadow. I don't have enough XP for that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
for black metamorphosis.
Okay, got it.
I get 2 or 4.
You get
tentacles.
4 tentacles.
Yes, around my body. They're not as strong as
Yeah.
tentacles, but
I'm aware of the rules.
it's just around me.
So
And I hope that my fucking yelling at the neighbor that no fucking interruption is in effect still.
we'll see.
Uh-huh.
So you feel shadows begin to overlap with your body. And as the shadows progress, you feel tentacles sprouting from your back, and your turn is over, but your tentacles get a turn. So what are they doing?
Yes, whichever closest to me is gonna. I hope there are like close enough tentacles to me to slap the ghost touching me.
Okay. You can roll for it.
Which makes them 5 + 1 strength, 5 or 5 + 1 strength to roll. Up to you.
Let's say 5 + 1.
Okay. That'd be. My God.
That'd be
fucking
thick.
God.
That'd be
Thick,
thick.
boy. Yes.
Okay. So these are slapping the ghosts that are
The ghosts
grabbing
that are
you.
holding my neck. Yeah.
So tentacles essentially appear from behind the ghosts because these are the tentacles you spawned before. They appear from behind the ghosts, and much like the ghosts are grabbing you, the tentacles grab them and just yank them off of you.
Yeah.
And hold them.
That'd be 6 lethal.
Yeah. And hold them by their appendages as you hear sort of this searing sound coming from them.
If you want to do a moral damage, try fucking harder.
Abel, your turn.
Well, I see things have calmed down a bit, I guess. I see Serena standing around confused, right? Because Belmont has disappeared.
So she was texting, and she shot another specter. So, yeah. But you still have the specters behind you, and you have your own ghost next to you.
I see. Well, I will just walk towards the table, I presume.
Okay.
And also I will, as a precaution, activate Purgatorium.
Ooh, okay. So
Ooh.
this is interesting, because I don't think either of you have ever seen this happen, either Serena or Jack. So
Yes.
essentially, what you see is as Abel is walking forward, he closes his eyes, and as he seems to focus, you begin to see flames building up around his body. Pitch black flames. They start at his back and cover pretty much his entire back, part of his neck, and most of his arms. Essentially, Abel seems to have set himself on fire, though
He doesn't burn.
it's not like he's in pain. Yeah.
Under his breath, he whispers, "Flame on."
Fuck's sake. Okay, so as Abel progresses towards the portal,
I rolled to
the
soak as well.
Hmm?
I rolled to soak.
yeah, and you succeeded. I don't think I think it was one egg that you take when you activate this, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so you soak it, you take no damage. And as Abel begins to move forward, all the specters around the room that Serena was seeing, they begin to manifest in the world. So now, Jack and Abel, you now see a bunch of specters manifesting in, your dimension, and they begin to move towards you. Each of them sort of holds out their hand, and you see shadows begin to form certain objects in their hands. Some hold what looks like shovels, some hold what looks like knives, military knives, as Jack would recognize from the war. Some of them hold what look like regular tools of everyday life, like hammers. So it's a variety of implements, but all of them hold it in their right hand, and they begin to move towards Serena and Abel. They almost instinctively, and you do notice this, they almost, all of them, ignore Jack. And we go into celerity actions. Did anyone use celerity? Nope.
Sister.
Okay. So, we begin the next turn. Serena.
Hi. I'm gonna split my actions again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use 2 celerity actions.
All right. So you used 2 celerity actions, and what are you doing right now?
Well, first I'm shooting 2 of them. They seem not to like the fire, so
Well, you need to reload your gun because you've already shot twice. With one of
from
them
one
at
of
least.
them.
So you got one more shot before you have to reload 2 shotguns.
Okay. So I can't split my action this turn?
Not really, no. Unless you split your action as, like, you reload and shoot.
Okay, no, then I'll just shoot one of them.
Okay.
And this is a combined 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
What the
And
fuck?
that's 12. 11 carry over. 19
That's
dice to roll.
no 18. Your gun has
1,
7
2, 3.
plus 11.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, so it's 18.
Okay, fine.
Roll
I'll
one.
remove one success. Fine. I'll remove one success. 1, 2,
I don't think it
3,
would matter, so
4,
go
5,
ahead.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Oh my
12,
fucking god.
13, 14.
What the
14
fuck?
acts.
What the fuck?
Okay. So you pull the trigger, and this time the flames basically engulf two of the specters, and they're both gone. That said, it sort of becomes apparent to you that not only are you facing a quite large amount of specters heading your way, Serena, during your turn, you begin to see through the walls more specters in the Shadowlands approaching.
Uh,
And we go on to Delmont's turn, which something in the background is happening. Basically, all of you during Delmont's turn can roll a perception alertness. So for Serena, because she's shooting guns, everyone gets a +2 difficulty on this.
or
Actually, +3 because she's shooting in closed doors. So it's not like this is very easy.
See shit. I have exactly 0. I have 9 1.
one success.
Okay. Abel? Perception alertness, please.
A moment.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Okay.
You can turn my camera back on, Miguel.
Okay. So you, Jack and Serena, you don't really notice it. However, Abel, you hear a very soft, sort of scratching sound coming from the end of the room behind Serena. And as you direct your attention, you spot essentially the wall at the end of the room, which, the room is fairly dark. You spot the wall at the end of the room as sort of a symbol begins to sort of etch itself on the wall. And Jack, it's your turn.
I will move towards the table. Also, like, pushing away specters from Abel with his tentacles.
Okay.
And message Freya. He had the portal prepared.
Okay. So you send out the message. You receive a text back on it. And your tentacles are pushing specters
just
away.
Keeping specters away from me and from Abel if there aren't close by specters to him. Like, close by tentacles to him.
Yeah, so basically you have your tentacles create sort of a perimeter to keep things away from Abel.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't require really a roll. I'll have you roll if they have to do anything at this point.
Yeah, I'm just like pushing away.
Abel, your turn.
I will brandish my sword, the sword that Serena lent to me.
Mm-hmm. And am I correct in assuming the flames are being extended to it?
Well, I assume they are, since it's in touch with my body.
So as Abel unsheathes the sword, you basically see the flames on his arm begin to extend to the sword, and now it's a sword engulfed in pitch black fire, which is terrifying as hell. Pun
So
intended.
Almost like Michael intended.
As I continue walking towards the source of the scratching, I will take a view a swipe against any specters that are around me as well.
Okay. Well, as a few of them begin to approach, so first, two of them are going to attempt to attack Abel. Jack, are you having your tentacles push these away?
Yeah.
Okay. So you may roll for it.
6 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. It's 6.
Okay. So, one of the tentacles manages to sort of swat one of the specters away. The other tentacle makes contact with this specter. However, the specter immediately grabs the tentacle with his hand, which is something you are fully aware should not be happening.
Yes.
And with one swipe of the weapon, cuts the tentacle in half, and the tentacle despawns.
That's bad.
And it begins to make its way towards Abel. Abel, you may roll for a sword attack.
Yes.
So it's Dex and melee. That's 1, 2. That's one success. So you roll damage for the sword. And it is all
Didn't actually
ag.
get the stats for the sword from Serena, so I don't know exactly what the damage is.
I think it's
Uh,
strength plus
Let me
2,
tell you.
if I'm not mistaken.
plus
No, I think it's free. Let me check.
It might be tuned up sword with a
I mean,
chain.
it is.
Yeah,
it
it's
is a
strength
pretty
plus
good
three.
sword. Yeah,
With a
strength
chainsaw
plus 3.
plus
engine
three.
attached to it.
So it's strength
plus
plus
three.
3 plus whatever
Plus
ag
any
damage.
carryover.
Yeah, so he doesn't have carryover. So strength plus 3 plus whatever damage the flames add to it.
Do I roll the strength? Or
Yeah, roll strength plus 3 plus whatever carryover you had plus whatever damage the flames give.
so that's it, and that's one ag from the flames.
Wait, what? That's
So
only 2 dice.
Yeah, that's my strength.
Yeah, plus 3. So you roll 3 more dice.
Ah, I see. I thought that was flat plus 3. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, really good. Plus whatever damage the fire gives.
That's one ag
Okay.
from the fire.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. So essentially, you slice at the specter, and your slice basically lops him in half. And while he's sort of floating in the air, looking at you and doesn't seem really fazed by this, the flames, as soon as they make contact with his body and catch on, immediately consume the wraith, and all the three of you hear is this fading screech as the wraith is basically dragged somewhere else. You can't see.
You know homemade Shadowlands, right?
Um,
Oh, hello, Betsy.
and as this happens,
Farewell.
all the wraiths seem to stop moving towards Abel and turn their attention immediately to Serena.
Just like cracks her neck.
So Serena, you have your actions, right? So go on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, there's the wraith's turn. So not only do they turn their attention to you, the three of you begin to see more wraiths forming in the room. And one of the wraiths that is behind Jack now turns to the door and places its hand on the door. The door where you came in through. And you hear this searing, like this very high-pitched sort of glass rubbing noise as shadows begin to form covering the door. And then the wraith turns back. So now you are locked in a room with wraiths spawning constantly.
Oh, are we?
2 turns. Go on.
Well, given that Vikas is meant to arrive, and I really don't like what that wraith did, I think he's gonna have to go. Can I split both of my actions so that on the first one I split it so that I reload both guns and then shoot one of them?
So the first turn, if you're reloading both guns, I just need you to make 1 dex roll. So dex and I believe for reloading both guns, I'd say dex and firearms.
Okay.
That's where extra hands come in handy. Yes, enjoy the cheese.
Well, actually, it's yeah. Let's keep it that way because you've already rolled.
No.
Well, it's appropriate roll to reload, like in a pinch.
Is it a botch?
Yeah.
It is. So you begin to reload, but you sort of fumble and you drop some of the ammo on the ground.
So I basically spend my entire turn doing it, right?
Yeah. And
Okay,
you get to
then.
reload 1 gun, but the other one you fumbled, so you'll either have to reload it entirely or...
I'm just gonna use the entire round to reload.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... The next one, I'm gonna split it. So first of all, I'm gonna put some distance between the rays so that I'm a bit closer to Jack, since, and his tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to one-shot... going to spend one of the shots on the race by the door, and then another one on some other one closest to me.
Mm-hmm. So you may shoot. So you have 2 shots on one of the shotguns and 0 on the other, just to make it clear.
No. I spent my entire first celerity action instead of splitting it into reloading it and then shooting one of the guns.
It takes 1 action, like 1 full action, to reload one of the guns. I thought what you were doing is trying to reload both guns.
No, I was asking you, can I split my first action to basically reload the guns and then shoot one of them?
Oh, I mean, you could, but that would be like splitting it into 3 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was you reload dex and firearms to reload both guns. Otherwise, you'd have to spend the entire action to reload 1 gun. The botch would technically mean that you only reload 1 gun. So you got 2 shots.
Okay. So I reload... So I do 2 shots, okay then?
Yeah.
Was that 1 gun?
Yeah. It's semi-automatic, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so on first gun, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 carry over, 1, 2, 3, 2 carry over. 1, 2, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6, 5 carry over, 12.
The absolute
1, 2,
obliteration.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 on the one at the door.
Be gone.
Fucking vanish.
Gunsshot! And
Big
1,
on
2,
hot.
3, 3 on the closest one.
Okay. So, you pull the trigger on the first one, the one right by the door, and you do so as you walk towards Jack. So you're closing the distance with it. As you aim your gun at it and pull the trigger, the flames basically consume the entire wraith and he vanishes. All that's left is essentially cinders on the wall. That said, the shadows on the door are still there. And the second shot is towards who?
Closest race to me.
Okay. This is one of the wraiths with the with like a military knife, and as it approaches you, you point the gun towards him, pull the trigger, and this was 1, 2, 3 ag. So it flinches as you pull the trigger, and the flames scorch part of it away. One of the arms of the wraith completely fades, and then it slowly turns to you and continues walking with sort of a struggle.
Of the face.
Yeah, with like most of its face gone, and it just continues
Most of his
walking
head
with
gone.
the knife held up with a bit of a struggle. As all of this goes on, at the start of the next turn, you begin to feel sort of a rumble below you. And right where the portal was, you see essentially the concrete on the ground split open. And out comes what looks like a winged horror. Unlike anything you've ever seen before. It sports a tail, 2 large talons for hands. And as it crawls into the room, it opens up its mouth, and you see a gust of flame that essentially burns away most of the wraiths. The creature then roars at the other side of the room, and all the wraiths begin to take a step back, looking at it. Hmm?
Larry?
And we go to the top of the turn. Serena.
Any other race remaining?
There are quite a few, and more are basically pouring in from the Shadowlands.
Right, I'm going to reload both of my guns, so I roll again this whole thing.
Yeah, so Dex
And
and firearms.
celerity actions reserved too.
Mm-hmm. So
Dex
Dex
and
and firearms is to
firearms.
see if you reload both the guns.
5, 8, 12, 13. Does precise apply?
Yes.
13.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
you reload
6,
both
7,
guns.
8, 9.
So that's your turn. You basically reload both guns as quickly as possible, and your celerity actions will take place. Don't forget to spend the blood every time you use a celerity action.
I did.
And next, basically, you see, so Abel, right in front of you, the scratches on the wall begin to sort of darken as you see Delmont, his hat now missing, and a good chunk of his face completely shattered. He stumbles in and says, I should never have trusted filthy Sabbat. And he lifts his head to see Abel flaming in front of him with a sword made of pitch black fire. And we go into
were
Jack's
saying?
turn.
If there are... I will rush in and do both my fucking punches, tentacles or not tentacles. And then, like,
To who?
I'll command the tentacles on me, and then I command tentacles
Okay.
closer to him to also give him a good smack.
Okay, so your tentacles, how much movement speed do you have?
I have 29 meters of run.
Yeah, that will of run, not of like sprint.
Walk 7, jog 15, run 29.
Okay, so run
It was its
basically
season movement.
run basically means that you can reach that distance, but you can't take an action.
I see.
Jog is the one where you can move and then take an action.
How far is it? Like
What's your jog distance?
15.
Yeah, that would make it, I think.
Okay.
It you'll have to reach a bit, but it'll make it.
I'll go for a good...
Especially because you're using your tentacles, which are
Yes.
like
I'll
longer
go for a
range
good
than-
fucking elbow punch.
Yeah,
And
okay.
tentacles are 2 meters long.
So roll for it.
That'd be Strength plus 1, strength and brawl, I guess. Right?
So yeah. Strength plus brawl.
Never was much of a fighter, but here goes nothing.
Nothing. So yeah, you try to reach, but you just miss on the distance. You don't quite reach him. You can roll for your tentacles. In the meantime, Abel, what are you doing?
Well, since he is right in front of me,
Dad.
I'll do a thrust.
Okay, you may
Approach,
roll
approach.
Dex and melee.
Two.
Yeah.
Two for Kentis.
Yeah, essentially, you, Abel, roll Dex and melee. Jack, your tentacles, I'll give you a choice. They can either smack Delmont, or they can hold him in place so you guarantee that Abel strikes.
I'll hold him.
Okay. So essentially, as Delmont's about to react, two tentacles reach out and each grabs his arms and just holds him in place. And Abel, you've rolled.
Sabbat is rage coming from half-rotten corpse.
So that's 2 successes. So you roll the damage, which is strength plus 3 plus 2, because that's the over successes. And then plus the 1 ag on top of that, which is, I believe, is guaranteed. So your strength plus 3 plus 2. 1s and 10s don't count on damage rolls, so you're lucky here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 damage plus 1 ag. Yeah, with a thrust, your sword pierces Delmont, and he has sort of this almost surprised look on his face as the sword, comes out his back, and the fire begins to sear his chest. And as it does, Delmont sort of starts chuckling, and then lifts his head to look at you and says, "It's funny you think this is the end." And as he says that,
Doesn't have to be.
So you say that.
Yes.
Okay. Delmont sort of turns his head with his eyes narrowed and says, "It won't be. And I can tell you, you are not going to last. We will get rid of you. All of you. The world will be ready for when they awaken." And as that is said, the creature that entered the room through the sewers makes its way to Delmont, and you notice, as it's making its way to Delmont, that the claws of the creature have these etchings on them. The creature reaches with the claws and simply holds Delmont. And as the claws make contact, even though the creature applies no force whatsoever, you see Delmont's face just panic. As the flames begin to consume his body, Abel and Jack, you basically see Delmont die. Serena, you see a reflection of Delmont left behind, and the creature just crushes that reflection in the Shadowlands until it's nothing.
Well, he's dead.
That was a bit anticlimactic, but we take what we can, I guess.
The wraiths around you begin looking to you and then to Delmont's carcass. And without a word, they begin to fade into the Shadowlands.
Good. Fuck off. I text Freya. He's dead.
Going to be gathering his ash.
The creature sort of shakes its hide and then looks to the three of you. And his eyes look to Serena, and there is sort of a nod. And you hear from the sewers as there is a sound of someone climbing up, and you hear Sasha Vikas say, "Right, I can take care of that door." And
Great.
Sasha begins to walk
What?
towards the door.
That.
Serena looks towards the creature, just like, you.
The creature takes a few steps forward and begins reducing in size slowly. And as it does, it rests its head on Serena's. And as the size reduces, you see Cecil.
No. What the fuck is this trick? No.
Reaches out to the face and just like really, because she sees scepters do weird shit, but also this right now was very much vicissitude, and she just doesn't believe, and like for a second she just thinks maybe she's like having a vision or something, but she just touches it. Like, does it feel like flesh?
So, pressing your hand against his face, it definitely feels like it's him. He opens his eyes, and they're not quite his eyes anymore. They look more. Well, they are almost all sort of this grayish yellow color, with almost a pinhole for an iris. And his body seems to be more of an echo of what it once was. It has similar modifications, but you don't see any scarring. It's almost like he was born this way rather than making himself this way. Almost like a quote
Or
unquote
a
perfect version of the modifications he had.
Or a perception.
Okay, you can roll it.
Priscus, can you please tell me what the fuck?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 successes.
What do you want to know?
I want to read the emotional thing, because like if this is a trap,
It's
like the emotion.
it's utter desperation mixed with like nostalgia and affection. And you just see Cecil basically hugging you really, really tightly.
I reach out into his mind.
Okay. One moment. Abel, what were you gonna say?
I'm just saying that my latest quiet power is also always active, so I probably will also get a reading
Mm-hmm.
of the emotional state.
Yeah, and it does not take you a rule to do so, I don't believe. So you can essentially tell that all you see from what appears to be Cecil is just the emotion that you get when you see a long lost loved one after years of not seeing them. It's hard to describe, but you'd know the feeling given your age.
All right, I think that checks out.
So, Serena, you reach into his mind, and as you're about to read his thoughts.
No, I'm just like, I'm asking.
Oh.
I'm not like reading the thoughts. I'm just like, is it you? You died.
Cecil pulls back, and then he kisses you.
Oh.
Sound. The emotion broke your mic.
Yes.
Yes.
Her avatar is awakened.
Like for a second, Serena freezes over because, what Rourke was, like claiming and so on. But she's seen the aura perception, and that cannot lie. And so she responds in. So she kisses him back. And only when he pulls away, she just how? How are you still here?
As he speaks, the voice is slightly different. It's almost like two voices speaking at once. As if his vocal cords have... as if the modification he had on his vocal cords has also been changed somehow. You hear like a simultaneously male and female voice speaking together, almost. And he says, I can explain later. We need to go.
They're still frozen for a bit and then nods and then looks to Vicus and the others. She basically wants to see what their reaction is.
Well,
What are the
Jack's
reactions?
still covered in fucking shadows, but shadows look very fucking suspicious.
There's just a pile of
What
shadows
about
with two
Abel?
dots
No,
going.
actually, the one Serena most cares about right now is because here's the thing: she hasn't really heard of any the Elder being able to resurrect, and I don't know, Vicus would have said if this was at any point possible. But she knows Abel has certain skills that nobody else does.
He's ravenous.
And that comes with the demon territory. So she actually would look more to Abel's reaction. Is Abel alert? This is an enemy, or is he welcome back? So to say.
Well, Abel, what's your reaction?
Abel moves up to Cecil, and just before giving him a pat on the back, he dissipates the flames.
Yeah, you
He says,
basically...
welcome back.
So you basically see Abel reach up his hand, and with a quick pause, you just see the flame sort of extinguish almost immediately, and Abel pats him on the back.
When Serena actually relaxes, because Abel was the one who was able to determine that there was Mariposa inside of Cecil. So if Abel is sure this is Cecil's, then she trusts him.
So as you have sort of this reunion, Vicus at the door says, done. You can be on your way. And Cecil, remember what we spoke about. Cecil looks to Vicus and just says, yeah. I'll keep you posted. And Vicus heads towards the sewers, sort of fixes their clothes, and then hops in. And Cecil, quite simply, begins to walk towards the exit.
Serena keeps up. She still thinks this might be a delusion or a hallucination. So she actually just grabs his hand and holds it really tight. Because she wants to feel the,
Yep. You notice that Cecil holds your hand back, which is something he doesn't usually do. he used to be more of a passive subject of this type of affection.
Well, what do you know about Dine?
Also, guys, can we appreciate how the music on the list
When the
died
battle
down
ended, like right when
and
the battle
w-
ended.
right when the like
Yeah.
For
Yeah, Jack will
context,
remove.
for the audience, they're listening to different music than we are.
Yeah, Jack will remove all the shadows
Mhm.
and like give very fucking long look at it all. What the fuck just happened? What the actual fuck just happened?
And Abel?
Well, God works in mysterious ways, I guess. Although I don't think God had anything to do with this one.
Yeah. And on
It
that
feels
note,
right, though.
we will take a short break. We will be back in about 10-15 minutes. See you soon.
See you around.
We return as the pack goes into their vehicle and begins to drive back to the haven. Sirens of police cars approaching from the distance. In the driver's seat, I would imagine, is Serena or Abel or
Abel.
Jack.
Either Abel or Jack.
You can pick.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. And as you drive away, Cecil seems to sort of be examining his own arm, as if he's studying his own modifications.
Serena is just like quietly like looking at him while still like keeping close physical touch, as if still not trusting whether it's a hallucination, even though Abel patted him on the back. And Vikas talked to him, you know.
Cecil then, after examining his arm for a moment, he looks ahead and says, I suppose I should mention, no need to worry about Larry. He's being retrieved.
Good. So we're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
Dying was
Or
not a fun
let's
experience.
say dragon in the room.
When Cecil says that, Serena just like her hand around him, which is she just like holds him closer. Like, well, more not closer, but tighter, as it like.
Cecil firmly pulls you tighter as well, which is very uncommon for him, as I have mentioned before. I don't quite remember everything that happened, but I was made aware that not all of us have survived the process.
What do you mean, not all of you? Or all of us? You mean the pack?
Where's Jim?
Dead.
Delmont ordered Victoria to, well,
Well, he
he
ordered
called in
her
his favor.
to through
To clean
her
up a
men.
factory where
Yeah.
Jim had his art project set up.
Good.
Jim
That
was
means
lost.
the death was earned. Cecil then looks up for a moment, as if he's sort of hearing something, and then he looks forward and says, I suppose some changes will have to happen in the future.
Changes?
Yes.
We are on
The
the
nation's about to ruin.
verge of breaking the Sabbat, I mean. There are odds we cannot beat, few we can trust. We do have an unexpected ally in our corner, however.
Who can it be?
Well, first things first. Due to methods I don't quite understand myself, I'm no longer within Vicus's lineage.
Okay.
I was... He seems to process some information in his head for a few moments and says, I suppose I was embraced anew by our antediluvian.
Excuse my French, but what the fuck did you just say?
In the sewers of New
Wait,
York, that's where he is. And he is not
The
against
one who-
us.
The one who took your Earth.
I guess someone took the book theirs.
He did.
Did-
Well, they did.
That was a unfathomably large being.
It's a complicated situation. I don't fully understand it, but as far as I can tell, he's not entirely against us.
Wait. So, let me get this straight. Lugos diablerized your antediluvian. And Lugos created Voldery.
You realize you're talking to flesh crafters.
Yes. So, either Lugos was a fool, or
It
we
wasn't
are in
Lugos.
really deep ship. We're
Or
in
it
shit
wasn't
so
Lugos.
deep, it can drown this whole fucking world.
That was the case in the first place. Things haven't changed that much.
Are you saying that the Sabbat was basically founded by the antediluvian?
To destroy
Of the-
other antediluvians, yes.
I look at Cecil. Is he lying?
Not a sign of lies on him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But wait. So we know that, and I've seen the visions that, and I know the myth, that the antediluvians are basically cursed with to devour their child there, but if your antediluvian is awake, well, your clan is not being devoured, so that's one anti off of the swords list because that's basically our funder.
Well,
Good luck proving it to the sword.
it's more complicated than this.
We're not saying I
700 years of fighting would be flipped over your head if you tell anyone that, oh yeah, guess what? We were made by antediluvian to fight against antediluvians.
It's more complicated than that. Would you listen,
Yes.
please?
and I don't.
He's not entirely on our side, but he's
I'm
not against us
saying
either.
he's an enemy. I'm saying it can destroy the sect.
I'm
Like that.
aware, which is why I was given guidance.
Keeping it to ourselves, aren't we?
No,
No.
we're breaking off from the main sect. In a way. They don't need to know we are, but something needs to be done.
How about the cult that Delmont was part of?
About everything.
Well, if they want to serve antediluvians, I guess we can send them to fucking New York.
I was also given some information that will shine a light on our enemies. They are called Talmahira, True Black Hand. And if the name sounds familiar, it should. Do you understand the extent of the corruption within the sect, given that
Yes.
name?
Yes.
Do you understand why it's unfeasible to stay in the sect if we want to achieve our mission? Their objective is to feed the world to the antediluvians in hopes of saving their own hides. To fight against a sect so ingrained in jihad to the extent where not a single Cainite on earth is free from their influence. To engage an enemy like that, you cannot be tied to others. Not the way we are right now.
What do you mean?
Imagine you removed Ruark from his post.
Well,
Imagine
one
you-
Hydra set off.
Imagine you managed, by some miracle, to prove that they exist. Their influence is so great. Not only would Ruark be replaced almost instantly, you'd be branded as a traitor for deposing him. You would be hunted down as a traitor. You would be hunted down as a servant of the antediluvians. The reason why we've been fighting Camarilla and Anarchs so vigorously instead of fighting the true threat, the antediluvians, is because we've been pitted against each other. It is impossible to get out of this cycle while staying in the Sabbat. At least while staying in the Sabbat as we are.
I'm with you.
Good. Jack,
Do I have a choice?
you do.
Well, it's either live or die, so you know.
I can simply make you forget. Breaking
Well,
the
my clan
vinculum.
wouldn't forget that I, kinda in a way informed them about this Talmera sect. I gave them what we knew.
Same.
Yeah, so it's
What did
either
you
live or
do?
die anyway.
We've
Do you remember?
transmitted. We
Yeah.
transmitted. Both of us transmitted a message to our respective clans. The cards showed it was the best option. After that, Talmahara tried to recruit me
And one
because
high-level La Sombra in Camarilla lost his shit and decided to take away some ventral
most likely
elder.
Kian. Most
Probably,
likely Kian.
Or work.
The
Abel?
cards show that the La Sombra clan are united as one against this threat, regardless of their allegiances.
Abel, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, just the four of us?
Not quite.
Yeah, of course, Larry as well.
And Vicus,
I presume.
and a few others. I was shown which ones of my clan are to be trusted. There's not a lot of us, but most of us are powerful enough to stand on our own.
And I suppose with time we'll gain more allies as we see who's who.
Of course. I can only speak for my own clan. I only have access to so many minds. And as he says this, he sort of looks distracted for a few moments.
Any vibrations related to that?
Extreme confusion, but also a sense of control.
Well, I'm always up for building something new, so
I will
the
just...
sooner we start to get the better,
Will
yes?
Reikanak have chaos to stop?
Only one thing needs to be done before we proceed with any of this. The Talmahara, they don't look kindly upon demon worshippers, but they also don't shy away from using demon worshippers to achieve their own ends. To that extent, I need you both to be honest. Have you ever given in to their requests? Ever, even slightly?
When you brought Titus in.
So Jack, as you speak, there's again this extreme aversion to speaking these words.
Shut the fuck up. He don't like it, he can leave.
Cecil looks to you and says, "We'll have to... I will give you two choices. Either we reach out to Isaac, establish defenses only he can put in place to keep you in control, or I can sever the connection right now."
Be my guest. More
Shall I?
than fucking use. What do I need to do?
Abel, keep the car going straight. Serena, hold Jack down.
I reach and I grab Jax from the back seat.
Cecil holds up his hand, and in sort of a moment of focus, begins to open it, and it's almost like his hand melts into these sort of branching veins of blood. He places his hand on your head, Jack, and it's like being touched by fire. There are screams in your mind of the creature trying to push back against this. To anyone else...
Invited.
Hmm?
I didn't fucking invite it to the joyride.
Yeah. To everyone else, basically what this looks like is Cecil's arm growing sort of these blood branches and digging into Jack's flesh. To Jack, basically this erupts your entire vision of the universe. Nothing else exists. It's just searing pain, and it feels like it lasts forever. And the creature screeches in your mind that if you sever the connection, something really bad will happen. Do you resist?
Sissel?
Resist the creature.
No, I tell it to go back to hell.
Okay. I need you to roll self-control or instinct,
Mhm.
if you have it.
No, I have self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beleza. Yes.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
6 for 10.
So you manage to resist it, and you can lose 1 dot in Daemonian.
Which is all I have.
Okay, good. So as you lose that dot, the creature just says, Jack, please. You don't understand what you're losing right now.
I lost too fucking much to care.
Okay. One last roll. This is self-control.
Mhm.
Difficulty 9.
And I can't spend willpower on it.
It's a virtue roll.
So help me God, I guess.
Oh!
Yes! Fuck yes!
And as you resist the creature, you almost feel your arms reaching up to stop Cecil, but you resist. You essentially grip the chair you're sitting on. And Serena and Abel, you basically see the veins on Cecil's arm turn pitch black for a moment, and then Cecil seems to pull something back, and his arm essentially begins to rot and fall apart. Jack, you may remove Daemonian from your disciplines, and you are now free of demonic corruption.
Yes.
Cecil's arm sort of falls apart, and as it does, Cecil just watches it. It looks like it would hurt a lot, but he doesn't really seem to react to it much.
Having
And
nerve endings in his head.
Hmm?
Perk of having not no nerve endings in his
He
hand.
has to have them. It's just how you connect them.
Yeah.
And as the arm falls apart, it eventually stops about here on the elbow.
Mhm.
And Cecil just watches it for a second. And he seems to focus, and you begin to see the bones reforming at first. And as he begins to heal his arm, he says, How do you feel, Jack?
Better. You know, there was like a presence in my head. Not anymore. Don't fucking know the price. Don't give. But I appreciate it. I really.
Don't mention it. It was a necessity for what we need to do. Corruption will steer you away from what we need to achieve. You need to be sober. And Abel, if at any point you succumb to this corruption, tell us.
I will tell you if I'm able.
Jokes aside.
Jokester as always.
Cecil's hand begins reforming as you begin approaching the New Haven. Cecil looks forward and says, Wow. The new place, I assume because the old one was attacked. And he seems to reach for something in his mind. And Serena, you feel a certain presence in your head, like a sort of twitch in the back of your neck. And all of a sudden, Cecil opens his eyes and the pressure is relieved. I see. Right, take care of the cameras. Let's make our way to the top floor.
I do the call.
And you begin making your way into the building. As you go up the floors one by one, Cecil looks to the three of you, sort of studying how his eyes work now, almost. Blinking a few times, and you see the iris begin to adjust more precisely. It's been what feels like ages.
In a month.
1.5, give or take, yeah.
A month and a half.
You all look different somehow.
I'm studying the past. She was depressed as fuck. Abel is always able, so.
Well, luckily, addictions and such have been kept in check, as far as I can tell. To whatever extent you could. We'll need to plan our next few moves. But until then, I need rest.
How? What do we tell Victoria? Or will Vika say something?
As far as you are concerned, I'm dead.
Okay.
If
think-
you're seen with a dead man, that's gonna raise some questions, so.
The vinculum holds no power over me right now, so we'll need to reattach that connection, but
Tonight?
whenever possible. I can do it by myself. Don't worry.
By yourself?
Things are a bit clearer as time goes on. Certain realities of how we work are more apparent the more I study them. And of course, certain information makes it easier to understand. It's all a process.
How late is it in the night?
The sun will potentially rise in the next couple of hours.
So now time to hit Delmon's shop. Fuck.
There is. Delmont's shop is not that far away. It's just to what extent you want to hit it.
Axe, obviously, and whatever
Yeah.
I feel like can be useful right now.
Okay. In that case, if you mention this, Cecil responds with, "You can attend to that. I need to rest. There are certain things I'm capable of now that I need to get a good grip on."
Not a fucking problem, I guess. Serena, you're staying home? You wanna go with us?
Staying home.
You're not the
Oh.
fucking children anymore. Can you please drop me some information about diet, for educational purposes later?
What?
You saw his ghost. I didn't.
Ah. Yeah, of course. Cecil crashed his ghost.
I didn't know, but thank you. Can you send me the way you seen it?
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
Later,
And-
you can attend to that later.
No, Serena just like straight up transmits it into his
Yes.
brain.
A bit forceful. So, good night. I close the door and grab Abel and leave.
So Abel, you go with Jack, or
Oh yes, yes. I won't be spending the night in this
hellhole?
love nest.
Hell with AE.
Yes. Um. So yeah, the two of you leave, and Cecil simply goes to rest with sort of a shell-shocked look on his face, as if he's a bit dissociating from all of this. And we will accompany Jack and Abel for this next bit. So, let me
You
find.
can turn off my camera for now.
Yeah, here you go. So the two of you return to the car. You begin to drive, and you have about 5-10 minutes until you reach Delmont's former shop.
I guess kid time is over. Overtime is on. But I swear to God, if my antediluvian comes alive, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Well, we just have to be. Well, I guess we cannot prepare for those instances. But would be fun though to meet your
Maker.
sort of a maker, yeah. I don't have much faith in them being sane, though.
Well, my clan is intrinsically connected to the Abyss. You know, who also is intrinsically connected to the Abyss. You know. I'm send message to Liliana. Ask if she's in town and if I can spend the night or the day over.
Your message is seen almost as soon as you send it. And the response is, "Of course. Is everything okay?"
After like good 20 seconds, yes.
She responds with an address.
Easterly?
It's just outside of East LA.
Mm-hmm. Good. Is it? We're probably driving my car or Abel's car, right?
Whichever one you want. Probably Abel, since you'll
Yeah.
need to travel after.
Mm-hmm.
So, Abel, you begin to see the address you visited previously for the first time with Jack. And the bad memories this place brought to you now seem rather distant, given what you've experienced tonight.
I just wonder if we were supposed to sweep up the ashes.
Iris did.
Yeah, probably. Serena probably did.
Cut to Vicus, still cleaning up with the fucking vacuum.
No, with the smallest broom.
Damn kids.
They be 1,000-year-old vampire, you know. Yeah. You know, I don't miss my angel. But Kinda puts shit into perspective.
Your angel.
Well, aren't they fallen angels? If they're demons, and we believe Bible, which they should sometimes probably, they are fallen angels. It was so fucking angry when I called. You won't believe it. Try it once if you feel.
Yeah, but if I do that, I might not want it back.
Yeah. Warn me about some fucking consequences, but what's damnation if you're dead already?
Well, I think we are what we make of ourselves.
Still,
Anyway, are you...
I don't think bringing Titus back was bad. I just did what I had to.
Yeah, I guess it counts for something. Do I know where I'm dropping, or who I'm dropping Jack off with?
We're
you.
first, like, gathering stuff from Delmont's shop, and then I'll give you location to Liana gave me. Maybe like a couple blocks away.
Okay.
So, as you leave the car to go to Delmont's shop, I would assume, you walk down the stairs and into this small alleyway, and turn to this little doorway leading to his shop. You open the door. There's a small bell that rings once you do, and the bored teenager at the front desk, without lifting her eyes to meet yours, simply scrolls on her phone while twirling her hair and chewing some gum.
Hi, look, I'm into really old, and
Can you
heard.
check your mic,
Yeah,
Jack?
I just got cooler. I'm just talking to the girl. Hi, I'm into collecting old weapons, like not really weapons, more like blades. Do you have something like that? I heard this place might have something for me.
The girl doesn't look up at you. Again, she seems pretty disinterested in what you have to say, but she simply says, "We have some stuff in storage. Do you have time to wait for the boss to come back?"
I have a feeling I won't. So if you might put some cash in front of her.
How much do you put down?
100, 200s.
She looks to it and says, "That doesn't even cover half of it."
I'm not paying for the item, I'm paying you.
Do I sense anything supernatural about her?
Roll perception awareness, please. In the meantime, Jack, she takes the 200, pockets it, and then says, "Doesn't even cover half of it. You can keep it coming."
Why don't you show me what you have and I can keep it coming if it worth my time? And I'm gonna make a good suggestion.
Okay, you may roll it. In the meantime, Abel, you sense very, very little supernatural about her. If there's anything supernatural, it's effects that were applied to her, not something that she is.
Persuasive applies.
Okay, so I can presume she's not a ghoul.
Not even that, no.
Persuasive applies to
Persuasive does
manipulation?
apply. Yes.
Good. Hey, not so bad.
Very nice. She looks to you, Jack, and after a few moments says, "Wait here." She gets up, still looking very bored, takes some keys from her pocket and just twirls them as she walks to the back.
I'll feel
And
for Rennan leaving magic around here while she's alive. Oh, well, she's away. While she's alive.
well, she's alive.
Very medicine.
Fucking doom music begins. So with a quick sensing of the room, I'll actually, while the power does give you the ability to sense it, I'll have you roll a quick perception awareness just to see how much you can sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Something.
you just sensing around the room, there's very little around here that has what you'd call non-Cainite magic. That said, there is a massive amount of non-Cainite magic coming from behind the staff-only door. Like, whatever's behind there, it's either a few items that have a really, really strong effect, or really lots and lots of effects on them, or many small items that have some effects that are all like in that room.
This story can be a gift that keeps on giving, so you mind? Abel?
Yes?
Well, this store has some potential.
Well, I presume it does, considering who it used to belong to.
So, if you don't mind, I will gladly take it over.
No, I don't mind.
I sent a quick message to Leo. This store owner's dead already, so do the magic.
Leo responds with a quick, "I'll make it happen, boss." After a few moments, the woman comes back, carrying a trunk. She places the trunk on top of the counter with a big thud, clicks the two locks, inputs a code, opens a third lock, and opens the trunk, and then turns it towards you. And you see, a bunch of weapons wrapped in cloth.
That isn't looking like an axe.
A few of them, you'd say.
You mind if I take a look?
She very slowly pushes the trunk closed. 200 wouldn't even cover half of it.
Right. How about I give you something more than...
She basically takes her glasses and does this.
Would you like to stay young for as long as you will?
She lifts an eyebrow and says, "I mean, I guess. Oh, you peddling some beauty products or something?"
In a way.
Are you sure, Jack?
Why not? I lean closer and say, "Drink," and I'm gonna basically open the wound in my neck to give some blood.
Okay. Just roll for that one command.
That I can get my memory.
It's
That is manipulation, intimidation,
intimidation, yeah.
and my eyes are very.
Yeah.
Persuasive.
It does apply. You tried to persuade her with immortality, so I'll say it does apply.
Yeah. Even if she has 10 willpower, I lower the difficulty by 2 on intimidation rolls.
Which she doesn't, so, yeah.
Yes.
After you say this, she very disinterestedly basically leans forward and begins drinking with a roll of her eyes, as if this was like a normal thing to do, and she doesn't really think about it. She just does it. And as soon as
kicks in. Until the lighter kicks in.
Yeah, and as soon as the blood touches her lips, it's almost like something snaps in her, and she grabs you by the shoulders and keeps drinking.
I can control my blood good enough to not drink too much. 1 point would suffice for now.
Okay. And as you let her drink a single point of blood, she keeps trying to get some, but it eventually, gets nothing and sort of snaps out of it and says, "The fuck was that?"
That is your new long. I will come back tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. We'll repeat that.
I'm
You did
not
like
working tomorrow, but sure.
I can come by.
Who is
Fine.
working tomorrow?
That'd be the new kid we just hired.
So, if you want me to come over tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and keep the good shit flowing, why don't you help my friend load whatever you can into his car? I know the owner, he wouldn't mind. I really do. And give me your address.
She locks the two locks on the trunk, locks the code lock, and pushes the trunk forward and says, 725.
Good. And point to the door, stuff only.
Sorry, what?
I'm pointing at the door with stuff only.
She takes the keys, puts them on the counter, and says, "You better keep your fucking promise."
Yes, I will.
That's just better than what I've had in the club. Damn.
Oh yeah. And which club?
I went to some club burnt down a few months ago.
Oh, that club.
You know it?
Uh,
Owner's a bit of a
We knew
dick,
it.
but,
So she was in Mariposa. Oh
agree.
my fucking god. Yeah. So name, address, number, whatever. You good with number, kids? It was numbers, kid.
I'm a fucking cashier. If I had a degree, I wouldn't be one.
So what you're good at?
Tending to people I don't care about, I suppose.
Does she look like Strider's type?
Let me make a roll. She could. If you gave her a makeover, definitely. She's a bit young, but yeah. You don't think that would be an issue for an asshole like Strider.
I'm not sure he's not.
Yeah.
He's not a diddler.
Yeah. Strider's enough of a shithead that you don't know if this would be an entire turnoff for him.
So I fixed 2 problems at once. That's good. Yeah, I just give her. Give her my business card, like inner business card. Give me a call tomorrow after sunset.
Sure. She takes it, just looks at it for a second, pockets it.
After we leave, you can close the shop.
Sure. I mean, we were
Owner
getting
is
closer
out of
to.
this. Is out of town anyway.
Is he coming back? I mean, you're talking like
Not
mobsters.
today. He's not coming today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. I don't know.
Right. Is he dead?
Yes.
No big loss. Didn't pay me enough anyway. So I'm assuming one of you is taking over? Okay. Get what you want. You can close up the shop, just use the keys. I got a spare. Made a copy the other day.
See you tomorrow.
Whatever you say.
Jack, maybe, well, since you're taking over, maybe you should let some of the staff go.
You mean? What do you mean?
I mean, do we really need a kid here as well? The one that they just hired.
I'll sort it out tomorrow. Maybe she will work for a different project for me. Let's get back in.
Fine. Well, I'll pick up the chest.
And I'll go at a hunch, looking for the most living items find. All precautions, obviously.
Okay. Do me a quick roll of, let's say, wits and awareness. And you're looking for the one that emanates the most magic, essentially. Okay.
Each one success.
Okay. So you get into the back office, and it's exactly like you remembered. It's almost like everything's in its neat place, like it was before. And as you walk through the room, eventually you sense a huge burst of this energy emanating from essentially the little one of those little cups where you put your pens in, which has like a quill. It has a bunch of pens in it. It has a few pencils. It's coming from somewhere in there.
Take a closer.
Hmm?
I'll take a closer look because you don't fucking know what the fuck on it.
Okay. Do you dump it onto the table, or do you essentially try to sense which one has the effect?
I'll put the gloves on and like or arrange it in single items.
You begin sort of sensing each item, and you sense that the quill has probably what you're looking for. It's like a very long quill with a very well-kept feather.
Do I recognize the bird?
Int animal ken, please.
Great. Int with higher difficulty. Let's fucking go. Oh, not so many.
Okay.
Hey, 2 successes.
You recognize it as an ostrich feather.
Which I know the German word for it. Yeah, I'll just... Is there like a case I can find for...
case for it. You look around, you can probably find a couple of boxes that are being used for something else.
I need basically a case for a necklace.
Yeah, you can probably find something like that. You'd have to dump the necklace out, but yeah.
I'll message to Leo details to the location, tell him to bring Johnny over, and to pick keys from Liana's ghoul.
Okay. He replies with a on it, boss.
Clean up everything Johnny points at.
And yeah, with as you do you pick up the quill to put it in the box? Okay. As you pick it up, you feel a tap on your shoulder. You look back to see a very well-dressed man that asks, "Hello, apologies. Are you a friend of the former owner? Perhaps the one who put an end to him?"
In a way, I'm actually new owner of the establishment.
Good. In that case, you should be aware I am your stand-in. My name is Albert. Used to be a business owner back in the 60s. Died horribly in a car accident, if you could call it that. Trains, little joke.
Wait, 60s in 1860s? Well, I'm a bit younger.
Regardless, I can tend to the shop for you. It's not a difficult task. The previous owner had some issues with his charisma.
Yes.
I'm the stand-in. As far as the employees know, I'm the owner. They don't like me very much, but I help keep the business straight. If you'd like my services, I can provide. Otherwise, simply break the quill and you can end my service.
Did Delmont bound you to the will?
Well, not Delmont himself. He had assistants.
Let me guess. Redhead, yay high, one eye. No, not him. Blonde, yay high, one eye, and redhead, yay high. Absolutely fucking brainless look in his eyes.
Not quite.
Enlighten me.
Well, to use your terms, old woman about yay high. Blind. But undoubtedly able to do things you cannot.
I assumed so because you see I have a Cainite, but for stuff that not of my kind.
Are you of Mr. Delmont's persuasion?
In a way. A bit more handsome, as you can see.
Not a high bar to clear, I'm afraid.
That much is true.
Now,
Backhanded compliments and all.
regardless of your decision, I am at your service until the quill is destroyed.
Well, you seem like a good enough person to talk to, so I'll come by tomorrow.
Of course, I'll keep the shop in order. Is there any task you'd like me to attend to in the meantime?
There was, and there probably is an axe. I give description. Brought here 2 to 4 weeks ago.
I see. He points to a spot on the floor and says, "Under those floorboards over there."
Good. I open the floorboards.
Yeah, and wrapped in cloth that you quickly pull away, you see the axe.
Good.
And as you take the axe out and sort of take the cloth with it to keep it wrapped, underneath you see what looks like a very rusted necklace, like one of those necklaces that you can click to open up with portraits.
Mm-hmm.
And by this point, I should mention, Abel, if you wanted to take it, the weapons to the car and then come back, you're free to do so.
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
That was the plan. Yeah.
You see Jack and some other guy who
Yeah.
somehow got in there.
Oh, good evening. Didn't
Albert,
know that.
it's a pleasure.
Abel. I will extend my hand.
He extends his, and as you try to, shake his hand, your hand goes through, and he says,
Oh,
"Sorry, not made of sterner stuff."
uh, but what kind of feeling do I get? How does he vibrate?
How does he vibe?
Well, he seems rather comfortable in the position he's in. It's not like he's refusing whatever powers are being inflicted on him. He seems okay with his existence.
What was the necklace?
Well, apparently it belonged to one of Mr. Delmont's childhood friends. The man went missing some time ago. I believe he went missing about 20 years ago. By the hands of one Mr. Strauss. I believe he's currently the prince of downtown.
Indeed, he is. I reach down and try to click open the.
As you
And then-
click open the lock, you see the face of a Nosferatu. And on the other side, you see the face of a gorgeous woman. Like, gorgeous woman.
You said childhood friend
Yes.
by the name of. Let me guess. Amadeus?
I believe that would be the one, yes.
He goes by new name now. Also new face. But it's good to
As
know.
I recall, they used to be really, really good friends. I believe they even made an accord to, well, remove Strauss from his seat. Unfortunately, Mr. Delmont wasn't in fully amicable terms with Mr. Amadeus, and thus certain steps were taken, and this lady you see in the picture, she went into Mr. Strauss's custody.
Does she look familiar?
Not to you, no.
And her name?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I would ask Amadeus himself. Eventually. Anybody else in this hidden stash?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Anybody else in knowledge of this hidden stash except for and us?
Well, there's myself, and of course, if he is still around, which is very possible, Mr. Delmont.
Oh, he's not around.
Then it's just myself and, of course, the two of you.
Can you see ghosts that Delmont controlled?
Oh, I'm afraid most of my perception has been stripped out.
Still okay. Well, I will be back tomorrow. Let's say my employee and my other interim employee are gonna get here during the day. And the one going by the name of Johnny, he might be of that blind persuasion. He might be a thing or two.
I
So,
see.
if you don't mind, help him.
Well, I will, so long as he is aware of who is helping him. It would be a shame for me to meet my end at his hands.
Yes. I will give the appropriate instructions.
Of course. If you'd be so kind as to leave the quill resting on the table and not back in the cup. It is what allows me to be out here.
And Cap prohibits you.
It's a container of sorts.
Not a problem.
I
You
will...
stay around here always when the quill is not in the cup.
Well, of course, plenty of reading material.
That much is true. But you can just kind of do
Well,
that, and I just do first dot of obfuscate.
yeah, well, first thought of obfuscate wouldn't work here because he's looking at you, but
Yeah.
you get the message across, and he simply says, "Well, the perception is quite odd. It's almost like time doesn't progress. Well, the quill is in the cup, so it's
No, I mean when the quill is out of the cup, you can be invisible. Let's say.
well, I can hop between the two planes, as one normally would. I am also
Normally,
able.
wood is debatable.
I am also able to. Well, it's easier to show, but I believe Mr. Delmont kept a number of my kind under his service, so possibly you've seen this before. And and he seems to sort of straighten his posture, and with almost a swift motion, he transforms into a mirror version of you, Jack.
Yes, you did. Oh my god, do I look this shitty already?
I'm afraid so.
Well,
And he returns to his normal shape.
the price we pay.
I'm sure. Worry not, if you...
So, look, I told the girl that working here that owner is dead. I don't know if she knows about Delmont, so
Well, she was not
if it
aware
doesn't
of him.
bother you. If she wasn't, then she probably thought about you.
Most likely.
So either look like me or, if you don't mind, or take some form.
Of course. Hmm. I have been thinking of taking another shape. I'm sure I will. Any suggestions?
Whatever you like.
Hmm.
Keep in mind, racism is bad. 160 years past.
What is this?
Well, people of color fought for their rights. People of who love the same sex as they also have fought for their rights.
Hmm.
So,
About time, then.
yes.
Very well, I will keep this in mind. I shall look different next time you visit.
Yeah. I'll probably know.
Can I do anything else to help you?
Point the most useful items for us if you know of them.
For one of your kind. Do you have access to the same aptitudes Mr. Delmont had?
Not really. I'm more of a shadowy dealer, and my eyes turn black.
I'm afraid there's nothing of that sort. However, there is a contract Mr. Delmont acquired very recently. One regarding creatures associated with your particular aptitudes. The contract is in that pile of scrolls over there.
Really?
I'll. How long ago it was?
Not too long ago, I don't think.
Let's take a look.
Yep. You open it, and the scroll contains a symbol that, Abel, it is very familiar to you.
As if
I-
like a signature.
Sort of,
That's
yeah.
probably the symbol you drew.
Yeah. And what is the contract entitle?
Well, it's just
Or
one
does it
page
only
with a
have-
symbol drawn onto it.
Could I attempt to decipher it?
You may roll int occult. If you have any book smarts or any specialty like that, they apply. And you do feel this urge to accept help from beyond, but I suspect I know your answer.
Can I in the cult as well?
If you wish, yeah.
Rituals?
I think it's not necessary given this role that Abel had. So Abel, you recognize the symbol to be a representation of a name, though you can't really read what the name is. You haven't had enough time to read something like that.
All right. I think to myself, this wouldn't be your name now, would it?
Roll self-control, please. Okay. So for a second, you feel sort of a heat build up in your hands, and you immediately let go of the paper as your hands sort of burst into flames trying to burn the paper. They fail, and then the flames subside, and you sort of feel this growling in the back of your mind.
I lean to Abel's ear and like, I have perfect memory, demon.
Just maybe keep it in your hands, Jack.
Oh, I remember it well. So if you don't need it.
I suppose if you could put it in a box for me.
Sure. I used the box. I wanted to use it for the quill
Mm-hmm.
and put the paper in. On the second thought, that's what's the name of the guy. The ghost guy.
Albert.
Albert, I do know a necromancer. I try to keep a good relationship with. If you have everything she might have useful.
Well, if you are not a necromancer yourself, I could certainly attempt to keep things under your control. That said, if someone with that type of knowledge were to show up, I might not serve you, if that makes sense. The connection is fickle. It's whoever holds the quill that controls me.
No, if you can point an item, nothing really big, more like token of appreciation.
For a necromancer, well, the axe you collected would be one, but there is an alternative. Where is it? And he sort of walks up to one of the bookshelves and seems to run his fingers through, and eventually lands upon a box, taps it twice, and says, I believe this box contains a token. A wedding ring belonging to a murdered wife. The death has opened up possibilities with the ring. Possibilities a necromancer could take advantage of.
It's like this size.
It's a wedding ring. It's...
Yeah, I'm in a box.
Oh, the box is about this
Yeah,
size.
like wedding, like ring box. Let's hope she's not a position.
Well, best not send the wrong message.
It would be a fun joke, though.
Depends on the person.
Again, you're right. I put the ring in a pocket. Well, I believe we don't have much time tonight, but I will visit during the week.
Of course, I will keep the place tidy. Worry not.
Thank you. If I can do anything for you,
Well, and some new books to read would be nice, but...
I acquired some books, so I will take you out later one day.
Of course, as you wish, sir. I would be able to study the books in your absence and relay the contents in a more digestible form, if need be. Mr. Delmont did make use of this skill of mine quite a few times.
Well, if it doesn't bother you.
Not at all, sir.
So yeah, I guess day when the show.
And as you say that, he sort of vanishes almost immediately.
So yeah, maybe we'll check and Leo and Johnny will have a look tomorrow, or rather in the morning. You mind dropping me at Liliana's?
Sure.
I
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna have her touch your sword?
Oh, I forgot about it. I will bring the sword over, or have her. Well, technically, Vikas is the owner of the base, which was given to me to use. So technically, I am an interim owner, so I can invite her. Besides, she's not on direct call with those guys.
All right. If there is anything interesting in the box, just let me know. I'm on the lookout for a replacement.
The axe wasn't in the box, so have a look, I guess.
Well, then you can drive for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as the two of you drive away, we will end the session there. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. See ya.